Oh, creep. Stay away from me.
No.
I really do need you, Brad.
Are you going to count it? Now will you honor your promise not to harm my family?
Your family is no longer in any danger. You have my word.
When I came to, the boat was gone.
What do you mean it was gone?
It disappeared. I've looked everywhere. They must have towed it away.
I told you to guard that boat. You and Al have exactly 1 hour to bring me every penny of that money, or you're both dead.
You don't throw beatings around here anymore, Jones. I run the place now.
Yeah, so they say.
That's the way it is. Don't think you're still top dog. The job's taken.
It's my duty to ask you to accompany me down to the police station.
Why?
I'm afraid you're under arrest.
Jerry said you'd arranged bail. You didn't mortgage the inn, did you?
Of course not. I took out a loan. But don't you skip bail on me or I will have to mortgage the inn.
Well, how did you get a $10,000 loan?
I know you think that I'm afraid to have a relationship, but I'm really scared to tell you certain things about my past.
You just said everything is okay. Is it really? You know what I can't believe? How well I slept. When we slept.
Oh, thank you, Miss...
Patricia, this is Karen.
Karen Holland. I'm Joe's wife. I just had a fabulous idea. You're saying the cottage is too small for you, me, and the 2 boys staying with you, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you and I just take one of the other cottages? That way the boys won't have to share a bedroom anymore, and you and I will have some privacy.
The other cottages aren't ready yet, Karen.
All right, then. Why don't you just stay here?
No.
There's no law against it. We are married.
We have a piece of paper that says we're married, but as far as I'm concerned, the marriage was over the day you walked out on me.
Really? So why haven't you divorced me?
Karen, I don't want to go through this again because every time we do, you start...
Hey, Joe. I thought you filmed a lake or something.
Ricky, I was looking for you, and well, a guest arrived.
I was worried. Did you even come home last night?
Yeah, I came home. It was very late.
Yeah, and left real early, obviously. Did you even shower? It's one nasty case of bedhead.
Look, Ricky, how'd you like the day off? I'm not going to need you for anything.
That sounds great. I'll see you later.
Good. Bye.
You are a bit disheveled. The way you look just after you get out of bed.
Tell me something, Karen. Why the surprise visit? What are you doing here?
I'd love to explain all that, Joe, but not here, not right now.
Not now.
Oh, can't you let me unpack and freshen up first? Then we'll have a nice picnic lunch.
I can't wait until lunch.
Oh, Joe, please.
All right.
I always assumed Joe was divorced.
So did I. See what happens when you assume?
Well, married or not, the way he talks about his wife, it's clear to me he's unhappy.
I don't know, Sissy.
But I do. I know he's happy with you.
Come in.
Morning, Sissy. Tricia, could I have a moment with you in private?
We'll talk later.
Funny. Here, I've spent all this time torturing myself about secrets of my past, and I find out we have that in common.
I never meant to hide anything from you. I just don't talk about my marriage
Obviously.
much. Look, after last night, I was going to tell you, but you didn't give me a chance.
Great. I always love finding out that I'm having an affair with a married man.
I'm sorry about that. But up until last night, you led me to believe that we were strictly business. There wasn't much point in discussing my personal life, was there? Look, this is a case of incredibly bad timing.
The worst. Why haven't you ever divorced her, Joe?
Because up until now, I haven't had a reason.
That's all there is to it?
I held on, I admit it. But do you know how devastating it is to your heart, not to mention your ego, to have somebody that you love walk out on you? That's why I never talk about it. At first, I thought that I was so special that Karen would come back to me. Of course she didn't. But up until now, I haven't had a reason to press for divorce.
You'd actually end your marriage for something this new?
I've known how I felt about you for a long time. I just wasn't sure whether you felt the same way.
Joe, I do. What about Karen? She hasn't pushed for a divorce either, and now she's back here and...
It's just her bad timing. It's over, Patricia. I'm gonna tell her about us, and that our marriage is over.
In fact, why not take the whole afternoon off?
You're sure about that?
Well, how often does Jerry work nights instead of days? Take advantage of it. I can handle things here.
You take on too much of the burden around here, Sissy.
We only have one guest. That's not much of a burden.
Yeah, but you've been through so much lately with your son-in-law's accident and then, you know, the arrest.
Oh, Jerry, will you stop feeling guilty about that? My son-in-law's much better, and I'm going to be just fine. There's only one thing that worries me.
What's that?
Your wedding. We've got to start planning.
Thought I'd see if our lunch orders... Jerry Vernon!
Karen, hello.
Talk about wonderful surprises. How long has it been since I've seen you?
It's been over a year.
Well, we're gonna have to do something about that. I want to see Frances anyway. Maybe you and she and Joe and I can get together and do something, like old times.
I'm afraid we won't be able to do that.
Oh?
Frances and I aren't together anymore.
Really? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. You seem so right together. So what brings you here? Obviously not duty. And it better not be Joe, because he's having lunch with me.
I came by to see Holly.
Oh, do you work here, dear?
I'm the new housekeeper.
And my fiancé.
Oh, well, congratulations. There's certainly been some changes around here.
Well, you have to expect that when you leave a place.
Of course. May I take this?
You may.
Nice seeing you again, Jerry, and nice meeting you, dear.
She's a friend of Frances?
Sorta.
I can't believe this whole new staff here. All your old people moved on? Even little Sally?
Let's cut the small talk. There's something I want to say to you.
Now, me first, darling. The whole reason for this lunch is so I can explain myself, remember?
All right. Darling, explain.
All right. You know, the reason I left had nothing to do with you. It was this place, this inn. I didn't marry you to be an innkeeper's wife in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember.
You don't know how my heart leaped the night I called and you said you'd sold the place.
Look, Karen, when I called you...
You told me you weren't sure what you'd do once you finished the renovations. Well, what do you think of this? Move back to Chicago. Become an architect again. And come back to me. We can have the life we always planned.
You mean the life you always planned?
We were happy until we came here, Joe. You can't deny that.
Don't you get it? When you rejected this place, you rejected me.
Well, that's a charming sentiment.
We don't even have the same values, the same goals. We had no business being together in the first place.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is. You said your piece, and now I'll say mine. I want a divorce.
Joe.
You sound surprised. You walk out on me 16 months ago, and you never made one single effort towards reconciliation. Don't you think that says something?
Well, I'm making the effort now.
Well, I don't love you now. I love Patricia.
No wonder she looked daggers at me. Is that where you got the bedhead this morning?
Look, I know you hate it here. If the only reason you're staying here is to try to save our marriage, save your breath. Leave.
Sorry.
Thanks. See you later.
And what's really weird is that if my mom hadn't been arrested, I wouldn't be here right now. We'd be starting a whole new life with Captain Goddard.
What?
Mom and I were going to Rio with him.
Wow. Do you think that's where he disappeared to?
Probably. Can't believe it's been 3 days since she's been gone. God, it seems like forever.
It isn't easy, huh?
Well, at least I'm with Sissy and people who love me. Not my dad and his girlfriend. I miss Mom. Hey, do you want to go to the prison together? You could visit your mom and I could visit mine.
If they restore my visitation privileges. Maria and I still haven't been able to make that happen.
I hope you do.
Thanks.
There is one good thing about still being here. I really would have missed you, Brad.
Look, Debbie.
Just as friends, okay?
Sure. And I promise once I get the go-ahead, we'll go visit our moms together.
Wouldn't it be neat if they were like best friends?
Kath! What do you think you're doing?
What's it look like? Reading a magazine.
You're destroying prison property.
Hey, give that back!
Why did you tear this out?
My son took the picture.
What?
You can see his name right there on the side in small print, Brad Morris. Please, Officer Fisher, could I please have it back?
You want this picture, you buy your own magazine.
What's the problem here?
She's tearing up magazines.
I only took one page. There's an ad on the back. I didn't think anyone would care.
Well, you thought wrong.
Let's see the page.
My son took the picture, Officer Patterson. I just wanted it for my wall.
Could I speak with you? Was that really necessary, Jack?
That woman needs to be put in her place.
She's proud of her son.
Are you sticking up for her? She tried to kill me.
You don't know that.
I know she's trouble. I know I've got to keep that under control, especially now that Rita's back.
You better keep yourself under control. Didn't you listen to Grayson?
Are you the one that complained to Grayson about me?
Look, Kath is making an effort to change. We need to encourage that.
We need to stick up for each other. Don't stand in my way, Nell. Otherwise, one day when you need me, I might not be there.
How'd you become top dog?
Get away from me, Rita. You're gonna find out.
Ooh, I'm scared. You gonna stand up to me the way you stood up to Fisher? I said back off! You don't become top dog licking their boots.
Hey, I've run this place better than you ever did.
Bull. You can't defend yourself, let alone anybody else. I'll make you bet, Morris. I'll bet I'm not back 2 weeks. Your days as top dog are history. Ricky, you're up to something. What is it?
Miss Mouse goes down in that cellar a lot.
Yeah, well, it's her cellar. She can go down there whenever she likes.
Have you ever been down there?
Yeah, I have.
So what has she got down there?
Nothing that concerns you. Now just stay out of there. Ricky.
Where'd you come from?
I need you to keep an eye on reception. I have to check on something upstairs.
door on here someplace.
Keep quiet or you're dead.
Ricky? Your son, remember?
What's he done now?
Nothing. I just asked him to watch reception and he disappeared.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Meadows. Sometimes he can be so irresponsible. He takes after his father. What are you doing down there?
Yeah, Ricky. What are you doing down there?
Miss Meadows, I have to speak to you privately.
This is something you can't say in front of your mother?
It is, believe me.
Excuse us, Crystal. Come on. All right, Ricky, talk.
Well, I went down to the cellar.
Why?
I thought I heard somebody.
Ricky, there's no one down there.
Yes, there is. Captain Goddard. He jumped me and threatened to kill me.
What? What's he doing here?
He's scared stiff, and he says he has to talk to you. I promised to tell you and no one else.
Damn, he's the last person I want around here. All right, Ricky. Listen, you keep quiet about this, do you understand?
You can trust me.
I'd better. Or you'll regret it.
Christo? Christo? Are you asleep or are you in deep thought?
Do you think that cellar's haunted, Sissy?
Now, what brought this on?
Well, you know how Tony's body was down there for so long, and poor Faith was killed here, too? I mean, 2 murders, Sissy. For all we know, this whole inn is haunted.
There'll be a 3rd murder here if you don't stop talking such nonsense. Now, if you haven't got anything better to do, you can help me finish these menus.
Sissy, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? I've been threatened by a mob boss. My son-in-law nearly died, and he's still not out of the hospital. I watched one of my best friends get carted back to prison. I got arrested myself and spent the night in jail, and you ask me what's wrong with me?
Seriously, Sissy, you've been looking a little peaked lately.
Crystal! Enough.
Hi.
Captain Goddard?
Sorry about that, Mrs. Meadows.
How did you get in here?
Through that window there.
You fit?
Mrs. Meadows.
Why are you here?
Trying to save my skin. I'm on the run.
From whom?
Ben Cronin.
Ben Cronin?
Yeah, he seems to think that I stole some money that Tony Osorio hid in one of my boats. Millions.
Millions?
I'm an innocent victim. I didn't touch a penny of it.
Well, if you're on the run, why aren't you running? Why stop in my cellar?
Because you're the only person who can help me. I need some major financial assistance, Mrs. Meadows. I need money to live on. I need a new vehicle or a bus ticket or something because one of Cronin's men stole my truck.
Captain Goddard, I am not the Cedar Lake chapter of the United Way.
No. You don't understand. I have the bait shop and those pleasure boats just sitting there. I want to sell them, but I can't get to them. I need you to help me sell them and then get out of here.
Have you got a buyer?
No, and if word leaks out that it's on the market, Cronin will find me.
How much are you asking for the shop and the boats?
Would you buy them?
I'm not saying that, but if the price is right and I could borrow the money.
Oh, Mrs. Meadows, if you could help me on this, I'd be on my knees in gratitude.
I'd love to see that, Captain.
Ricky, would you mind stepping aside? I need to find Mrs. Meadows.
Sorry, out of bounds.
Now, you listen to me. There's a phone call for her.
Take a message.
Ricky, I'm your mother.
I can't. She's the boss.
Is everything okay?
There's a phone call for you.
Could you take a message, Crystal? I've got to go out. And that little problem in the cellar isn't really worth talking about, is it, Ricky?
Right.
And I'd appreciate if you'd continue to keep an eye on things. Brad, have you seen Joe?
Would you believe he's been looking all over for you?
Really? Where is he?
He just left for town to pick up a few items for the cottages. Can I help you?
Maybe you can, actually. Could you come with me to the bait shop?
I don't think you'll find Captain Goddard there, Mrs. Meadows. Nobody's seen him for the last few days.
That's okay. I've got a key. So, what do you think?
I've got to tell you, Mrs. Meadows, this would be a great job. I mean, boating, fishing, being outdoors. It would let me make a living until I could do photography full time.
Oh, so you could keep up the photography if I invited you to run it.
If that'd be okay. Are you offering?
Not quite yet. But who knows? Come on, let's go back to the inn.
Have you seen Patricia?
She went out a little while ago.
What did she say when she'd be back?
Not a word. Everyone's been acting real mysterious today.
Oh, really? Are you okay, Ricky?
Sure.
He's on guard.
What's that supposed to mean?
Don't ask. If he won't tell his own mother, he won't tell you.
So what's the big mystery?
No mystery.
Good. Excuse me. Crystal, you want to take a look?
Sure.
See, I told you there's no mystery.
I guess he's right. Come on.
What a handy little secret passageway.
It's not a secret, it's a shortcut. Just a minute. Who is it?
It's Sissy. It's important.
Can't this wait, Sissy? I've got some urgent matters to attend to.
But I've been trying to talk to you all afternoon.
Just give me 20 minutes, please.
You're worrying me. You're acting very strange.
Can you blame me with Joe's wife here?
You were acting strange before she arrived. Does this have to do with how you got my bail money? Are you in trouble?
I took a loan out, I told you.
You didn't go to one of those loan sharks, did you?
No, I didn't go to a loan shark.
You are up to something, Patricia. I can always tell.
Sissy, please, just tell everyone not to disturb me for 20 minutes.
All right, but this conversation isn't over.
Ooh, I hope that's our last close call.
So do I. Thank God you knew about the secret passageway, or Joe and Crystal would have found you. So I looked at the bait shop. It's quite a mess, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that, Mrs. Meadows. A few dollars here and there work wonders.
Few dollars. Is that how much you're asking for it?
Well, it's a prime piece of land. A lot of people have wanted to buy it.
How much, Captain Goddard?
Not a penny under 150,000.
I'll give you 50.
50? It's worth double that.
I'll pay you cash. You can take it or leave it.
Well, I guess I'll have to take it.
Good. Call your lawyer. Have him draw up the papers.
You're saying you bought me out. He'll handle the other papers.
There you are, Captain. Paid in full.
Thank you. And if Ben Cronin should ask, you haven't seen me.
He's the last person I talked to. And I won't tell anyone I bought you out till you're well on your way.
How do I can get out of here without being seen?
Same way you came in.
Thanks for all your help.
Bye, Captain. Good luck.
Hello? I dropped by the Clark family estate this afternoon. Why weren't you there?
Karen?
That's right, Frances Clark. It's all your fault I had to kill a whole afternoon in that damn village.
Why didn't you tell me you were coming back? I can't believe you're in Cedar Lake.
Well, I do have a husband here, remember? Although he seems to have forgotten.
Oh, no. Joe hasn't exactly had open arms.
It seems he's taken up with the new innkeeper.
Are you kidding? I swear, Karen, that inn is poison. I don't know if you've heard. Jerry broke our engagement so that he could take up with one of the chambermaids there.
Oh, she's housekeeper now. He introduced us.
How nice.
He certainly didn't waste any time popping the question to her, did he?
What?
Oh, dear, you don't know?
No. Not that I'm surprised. Damn him. I think how long it took for him to propose to me.
I know. Listen, are you free for dinner tonight? I really do need to see a friendly face.
Karen, if only I'd had advance warning. I'm going with Mother and Daddy to the country club.
Of course.
Why don't you come to the house for breakfast tomorrow? I do want to see you. Obviously, we have a lot to discuss.
Could we get this man-to-man talk started? I'm in a bit of a hurry to see Mrs. Meadows.
Okay, I need some advice about women, Joe.
I could use some myself.
I can't figure Debbie out. I mean, she says one thing and then does another.
Know somebody like that?
What do you do about her?
You want to know something? I'm not trying to blow you off, but I think you'd probably get better advice from a woman.
Like who, Mrs. Meadows?
Why not try your mom?
Yes? Mrs. Holland, what can I do for you?
I'd like to be frank with you, Patricia, if I may. I'm here in Cedar Lake because I want to rebuild my marriage. I'd appreciate it if you'd let me do that.
So you're asking me to get out of the way?
Patricia, you're not the first woman here who's had a crush on Joe. We had this little receptionist, Sally. He had her so lovesick she could scarcely do her job at times.
This is hardly a crush.
But it is very new. Joe and I, on the other hand, have history. We've been together since college.
So you think it's easier for me to give him up?
I am still married to him, Patricia.
Yes, and you hurt him a great deal, Karen. I'm sorry. I'm not giving him up. And I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my inn.
Can you really afford to turn away your one paying guest?
In this case, yes.
Look, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm an investigative reporter. How would you like to read an article that tells everyone just how nicely you treat your guests here? I can make sure this place is a bigger failure than when Joe owned it. Look at it this way. At least if I stay, we have a fair fight.
Hey, you've been avoiding me?
No, why?
Well, I've been looking for you off and on since lunchtime.
Or your wife didn't have any trouble finding me.
Oh, no. What'd she say?
She wants me to step aside so she can resume her wifely responsibilities. I told her when hell freezes over.
I can't believe her. I told her about us. I told her I wanted a divorce. What's she thinking?
Well, obviously she wants to fight it. You don't think she's going to try to drag me into this, do you? Make things ugly?
Karen walked out on me. She has no choice but to accept this divorce.
I hope you're right.
But I don't feel dizzy now.
Sure.
What's wrong?
Help me talk some sense into her. She almost passed out.
From what?
It's nothing.
Well, you can still lie down. We don't have any reservations in the dining room, and you've already got Mrs. Holland's room service tray already.
Crystal.
Go! I swear that woman works way too hard.
Do you got a minute?
For what?
Some advice?
I distinctively remember a young man saying that he did not want his mother telling him how to live his life.
I know, but...
And besides, I mean, why should I? All you do is keep secrets.
Why don't even bother?
Ricky, wait. I'm sorry. What do you want to know?
Well, the other day I was trying to make Debbie feel better. I mean, you know about her mom and stuff. She kind of freaked out, and now she's avoiding me.
How'd you try and help her?
I talked to her. I said that she didn't need to feel alone and that she had friends here.
Well, there's got to be something else, Ricky.
Well, she started to cry. And I felt bad for her. So I kissed her.
Oh, Ricky. She probably thought you were trying to make a pass at her.
I wasn't.
But can you understand if she thought that you were? I mean, Debbie didn't need a boyfriend right then, honey. She needed a friend.
Well, she didn't mind Brad all over her.
Oh, she's got a crush on Brad.
Yeah, I'll never figure that one out.
Honey, that's Debbie's business. Even if I don't agree with her taste.
Really?
Any girl could do a lot worse than you. Listen, honey, try talking to Debbie again. Only this time, just talk.
Then you'll turn the stereo off by 10 p.m.?
Yes,
Good.
Before throwing me out, just listen to me for a second. Look, I know you thought the other day I was putting the moves on you, but I wasn't. Honest.
Oh, come on.
Just listen to me for a second. You seem so sad. I thought I could make you feel better. I just did it the wrong way. Debbie, you gotta believe me. The last thing I wanted to do was upset you, especially after what happened to your mother. I'm sorry.
What do you want, Ricky?
Nothing. I want you to be happy again. I wish I could bust your mom out of jail.
You're after something.
Look, I know we don't get along, but like I said that day, I don't hate you, and I don't want you to hate me. It'd be nice if we could be friends. How about we shake on it? All right.
Sissy, why aren't you in your room? Crystal just called me and told me that you collapsed.
Because the minute I laid down, I felt ridiculous.
Well, then feel ridiculous. It's better than letting something happen.
Oh, now stop it. You start worrying about me, and I'll start worrying about you and that loan again.
All right, anything but that.
I thought that would work.
Look, while we're on the subject, we should think about who's going to represent you. We should have gotten you a lawyer before now.
Yeah, well, I'm just worried about who's going to pay for it. With Ron still in the hospital, I don't want to ask Lorraine. I don't want her to know about this new charge anyway.
She doesn't have to. I'll take care of the fees, see?
How?
That is not your concern. All you need to think about is hiring somebody good, and I was thinking about John Randall.
Well, the only way either one of us can afford him is if he takes me free.
I'm just worried he might be too busy. The only reason he took Maria and Holly was as a special favor to Faith.
No.
Ah, maybe you can help Maria.
Help with what?
Hi, Maria. How's training going?
Well, I think I understand what made Fisher so mean.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, but it'll be worth it. So what is it that I could do for you?
Well, Maria, Sissy needs an attorney, and I was thinking about that guy that handled you. What was his name?
John Randall?
Right, John Randall. I thought he might be good. Would you mind calling him for Sissy?
Well...
What's the matter? Didn't you think he was any good?
No, I think he's the absolute best. I'm just a little reluctant to ask him for another favor.
Especially after turning him down for dinner the other night.
Oh. Look, he's done so much for me already, and then again, so have both of you. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, Maria. Now, there is nothing to worry about, Sissy. You understand?
Mrs. Meadows' line?
I figured you'd be there.
Really?
That boy you didn't introduce me to this morning, he said he didn't know where you were when I phoned the cottage just now, so I assumed... Is Patricia standing right there?
No, actually, she's with Sissy at the moment.
Good, then I won't be taking you away from her.
Taking me away?
My bathroom faucet's dripping terribly. You know, if you don't fix it, I won't be able to sleep.
Is it really that bad?
I wouldn't ask unless it were. Please?
All right, I'll be there in a minute. It's a little early for bed, isn't it?
I just wanted to be comfortable. Come in.
No.
Joe, this dripping's like Chinese water torture.
Look, just how stupid do you think I am? Or do you think I'm weak? Whatever, it's pretty transparent.
I beg your pardon?
Now, what's your strategy? You gonna try to seduce me or have Patricia find us in a compromising position?
Joe!
Or you're gonna screw up my entire evening by trying to tie me up with your plumbing problems. Whatever it is, it won't work.
Do you really believe I'm that manipulative?
A funny thing happens when you've got 16 months to think about someone. I realized the only reason you ever loved me, because I always gave in. The first time I didn't, you left. You're probably the most selfish, manipulative person I've ever known.
Patricia's turning you against me, isn't she? What's she saying about me?
She said you'd fight this divorce. But don't bother. I'm no use to you, Karen. I won't be your dupe anymore. Sleep well. Well, this is taking all the willpower I've got.
Well, I guess you better get back before those boys wake up, or they'll ask you all sorts of questions.
Well, I'm gonna tell them. They can handle it.
I thought we were gonna be discreet.
Oh, we were, but to hell with discretion. It's just too much work.
You know, I have to admit, I thought I'd feel uncomfortable sleeping with a married man and his wife's under the same roof.
Were you?
Did I seem uncomfortable?
Well, good morning. Morning. You've been mighty scarce lately.
Well, as soon as I get home from training, I go straight to bed. You know, it's been pretty tough. And don't you say I asked for it.
I wasn't. Look, Marie, I don't stand in your shoes. It's not fair for me to judge what's right and what's wrong for you.
Thank you, Crystal.
Even though you did judge me a little bit about Ricky.
Honey, I told you I was sorry, and I meant it. Hey, listen, has Ricky decided whether he's going to stay beyond his 2-week trial period?
Not yet. But you know what? Yesterday, he came to me and asked for advice.
That's great!
Guess who I caught sneaking in the college pool a while ago?
Better not have been some girl.
Nope. Joe. And man to man, he told me he spent last night with Mrs. Meadows.
You're kidding.
Ricky, don't you start gossip.
I'm not. But my mom told me that the lady who's staying here now is Joe's wife.
Well, that's interesting.
No wonder. I asked him about advice about women. He said he needed some for himself.
Honey, were you able to use my advice?
Yeah, I did.
And?
And it worked.
Oh, honey, that's great.
Anyone ever tell you you're pretty smart?
Not often enough.
You got that right.
Feels so good to get away from that inn.
You're more than welcome to stay here, you know.
That's very sweet, but I can't leave, Francis. It'd be like surrendering to that woman.
It's funny. I don't really know Patricia Meadows. She keeps to herself.
Oh? She hasn't joined the country club?
What is this thing you have against the country club, Karen?
Nothing. How could I have anything against it? I never belonged.
I think we should change the subject. Tell me what you think about Holly Warner. Did you ever guess that she's an ex-con?
What?
Jerry met her after she escaped from Women's State Prison. She got sent there for supposedly kidnapping a little boy.
You can't be serious.
Oh, she was innocent. Jerry played knight in shining armor and got her cleared.
And now she's cleaning rooms at the Cedar Lake Inn. Can you imagine what the guests would say if they knew?
Well, if you can believe this, she's not the only ex-con there. Chief Carson told Daddy that 4 other women at the inn were also at Women's State. One just got sent back there for shooting her husband. Another, the woman who's the new cook, just got arrested for harboring a fugitive.
Why do you think Patricia Meadows is hiring all these ex-cons?
I don't know. You really should stay with us, Karen. You don't want to end up the inn's next murder victim.
Oh, come on, Francis.
I'm not joking. There have been 2 already, both mob-related.
What?
And it all started after Patricia Meadows bought the inn. No, I take that back. The first murder, this mobster's wife named Faith Cronin, happened before she arrived. But it's still awfully suspicious, don't you think?
Very. You know, I was the inn's only guest last night. Imagine if people knew the old dump's been taken over by criminals.
That would be the last nail in the coffin.
Probably the end of Joe's days in Cedar Lake. You know, maybe I should give the inn some free publicity.
Publicity?
Yes. An expose to end all exposés. All about my beloved Cedar Lake Inn. I've got to use your phone.
Sure.
Yeah?
Kevin, it's your best writer calling. Just checking in.
Nobody's trying to steal your job, Holland.
Kevin, you think I'm worried about that?
Oh, not you, Karen.
I don't have to worry. I'm too good.
So what is it? Your little vacation's that boring?
I just thought I'd like to make it a working vacation. There seems to be a weird connection between the mob and this inn I'm at. I think you can make an incredible story, but I need some background. Everything we have in the database on a mobster named Ben Cronin, his wife, his late wife, Faith, and a henchman named Tony Osorio. You can send me an overnight mail. You have the address.
Your wish is my command, as usual.
Oh, and while you're at it, see if there's anything on one other person. A woman named Patricia Meadows.
Cedar Lake Inn. You're speaking to her. Yes, Mr. Cronin. No, I haven't seen him. Not for the past few days. My family's just fine, thank you. Goodbye.
Should have come with me, Sissy. It's beautiful out. And the walk would have done you good. Sissy, what's wrong?
Ben Cronin just called. He asked if I'd seen Captain Goddard.
Oh, no.
He wants me to phone him if I see or hear of the captain. He says I owe him a favor. And then he asked about Lorraine and the kids.
Damn it. He said he'd leave us alone.
He'll never stop being a threat to us.
I was awake all night thinking about changes we can make to the bait shop.
The bait shop?
Yeah, Mrs. Meadows is thinking of buying it.
Brad, let's not talk about that till I make a final decision, okay?
Okay.
I'll talk to you both later.
See you later, Brad. What's this about buying the bait shop?
I just haven't had time to tell you.
Let's make time now.
All right. Goddard's on the run because Ben thinks he stole some of the money.
Did he?
No. Ben must think that Goddard has the money I used to buy this place. Anyway, Goddard wanted me to buy him out, so I did.
How? You were broke a week ago.
Well, things weren't really that bleak.
You had to come up with $10,000 to bail me out of jail, and you still had enough left over to buy Goddard's business?
I told you I borrowed the money, Sissy, and with all due respect, it's none of your concern.
Not my concern. I haven't slept in days. What with dead bodies and friends getting arrested and your husband threatening my family? I'm telling you, Faith, I don't need you worrying me by getting into some new kind of trouble.
Sissy, wait! Yes. Yes. What, Crystal? All right, please. Can you handle this yourself, please, Crystal? No more calls. Please. Sissy! Oh, my God, Sissy! Sissy!
Next on Dangerous Women.
What does it matter? You don't tell the truth.
I'm trying to start. You know, I heard I'm not the mother that you always wanted. I want to try and change that.
You think wearing glasses and covering up your boobs is gonna help, Mom?
If you ever want me, Jerry, if you ever do, you can come to me anytime.
Now, will there be anything else?
Yes, this.
Sissy!